Hello everyone, how are you? Welcome back to Chat Plays Dungeon World, our Dungeon World adventure in swords and sorcery, high fantasy. We are hitting episode 2 here. Now once again, this is one of those projects that I always thought, you know what, there's a chance that it'll get off the ground. There's a chance. And here we are. Tuna, hello, how are you? I should, by the way, go ahead and get this turned on for you so you can check out the interface. I've made some changes. Ideally, well, I'm hoping it's a little smoother for everyone. It was definitely there were some I don't know, some chunky UI issues last time, so I'm hoping this will be better for you. I've given it a bit of pizzazz, as it were. Now, it sounds like there were some navigation issues on mobile last time. I would love to learn more about those. I went through and checked everything that I could, and as far as I can tell, things look pretty normal. But that does not prevent people from having UI issues. So, if you find that the navigation is a little strange, I've said it before, the best spot to give me some of that feedback is going to be on the Discord. If you want to just put it in the Dungeon World channel on the Discord, you can find the links in the description box for this. If you just want to put those in the Dungeon World channel, that's the best spot for me to sort of reach them and understand them. So, we're at episode 2. This is exciting. We have got 3 characters. We have a barbarian, a Minotaur barbarian with, what did we say, a lithe body, and they have proven themselves to be worthy fighters. It's been a challenging day for them in the arena, and that is the barbarian, along with, we've got Team Lenaith that MacLeod has just joined. Matter of fact, let me jump to this one where I've got chat up. Team Lenaith, controlling Lenaith, the Wood Elf Ranger with a hawk named Fish that they have trained to help them fight monsters. And then, of course, we've got Halvir, the Elf Wizard. And the 3 of them are a team of arena fighters in a magical metropolis known as Racedis Towers. I did indeed land on the name. I don't know if y'all remember from the world building session, but someone suggested I think it might have been Jade Hallett. And you know what? We're going with it. I think it's a good one. It has grown on me substantially. So, the magical metropolis of Racedis Towers. That is where we're at. Last episode in the arena, the team fought the Goblin Fight. Now, the Goblin Fight is a fixture of every fight day at the arena, which most days are fight days. It tends to be a pretty short one, a quick one, and honestly, people generally watch it more for the goofs than because they're expecting to see a good fight. But every fighter who comes through the arena has to make their way through the Goblin Fights. You did manage to defeat them. You went up against a group that seemed to be pretty anti-magic. A little anti-magic goblin group. They were theatrical, they were colorful, but they did not care for Halvir. MacLeod says, it looks so much better on mobile. Excellent. I'm glad that it does. And I hope, MacLeod, I hope the navigation works a little better as well. Again, I wasn't able to find the issue that it sounded like you were having, but if you can give me some, and obviously Tuna Sunday and MacLeod, y'all have other avenues to communicate with me. But if you want to let me know sort of like what specifically it's doing or on what pages it's affecting you, go ahead and you can text that to me or something. It was a good fight. You learned a little bit about the arena as well, and the arena in Racedis Towers, it is the cultural center of, many would say, civilization. The fights that go on here are widespread cultural events, and thousands show up to watch these throughout the day. And after fighting the Goblin Fight, you are tired. You sink into the sands, which I believe Halvir did some sort of investigating. And y'all know now that when someone dies in the arena, unless there is barring some mitigating circumstances, the general idea of the arena sands is that the sand of the arena itself is magical. Now, people don't understand exactly how it works. There are some arena mages who are able to shape it and use it to make the fights more interesting, but they're not totally understood. There's some sort of ancient magic here at play. The arena itself is a very ancient fixture of the world, and so even the people who run it aren't exactly sure how the arena sands work. What you know is that when you are injured or even killed in the arena, you fall, and the sand will allow you to sink in, and it will envelop you, and then everything kind of goes dark, and you could think of it kind of as a trance or something. And then when you emerge, you're okay. This is how it's possible to lose fights in the arena and still manage to fight another day. And Tuna says, maybe add a shadow behind chat as well. And I tell you what, Tuna, I have actually done that on my other screen already. And I thought it would be okay against the kind of white background here, but you are absolutely right. This needs something here. Actually, maybe I can just... What if I just change my font setting? Is that better? We won't know until somebody pops something else in chat, but maybe that will help us out. Maybe not. Maybe I'll put the shadow behind chat anyway. You know, I might as well. Hey. Read me. I don't know, that's kind of cool. That's working for me. That's working for me. How much? 285. Okay, yeah, that works for me. Okay, cool. So, we have our recap, and I think we're ready to move forward a little bit. It's more readable, yeah, for sure. Okay, as usual, everyone, if you would like to jump in and participate with this is going to be running every week, you know, give or take. We are going to be doing this on Mixer. This is a Mixer exclusive joint. Unfortunately, I cannot, I don't have enough sort of screen real estate to keep an eye on everything at once, you know, including the Discord and all that. So this is only going to be on Mixer because that's the only spot that I have the control panel. This is a system where you can go ahead and play by turning on the mix panel. I have built it to hopefully be a pretty decent experience. And McQuick is saying, before it wouldn't let me get back into the home page of the character, but I fixed it. Cool. Only complaint is I can't see chat from Mixplay on mobile. That's a Mixer issue, not a you issue. True, yeah, it is frustrating, and I wish you could, but I think it's possible that I'll be able to adjust that in the future. For instance, like I'm gonna have it on the screen, but I know your screen gets pretty small when the Mixplay panel is up. We'll see. We'll work with it. I'm considering doing dual casting and essentially doing a team stream with myself, and having my laptop running to show just like a permanent display of all the character sheets, and it would be the version that's without music. And then if you wanted to watch this version of it, my voice would be in both, but you could sort of watch that one if you wanted to, you know, keep an eye on the character sheet and such. And you could watch this one for what will eventually be a bunch of channel art and the music and all that. We'll be doing that starting next week because I think I finally got all the kinks worked out with the Mixplay panel. But let's find out today, huh? So, we're back here. As I said before, you know, eventually this will be, and actually, because I changed the chat color, I'm going to turn this off right now, see how it works. We will, of course, eventually be doing, like I said, a much more theatrical version of this. But for right now, we are still doing Theater of the Mind. This is, I would say, how most of my encounters tend to go, is much more Theater of the Mind. And it's nice because it allows me to be pretty flexible on the fly, which is what I am going to want to do today. So, let's get started, shall we? Our party, who will need a name for at some point, has left Racedis Towers Arena. You floated down through the sands of the arena, and once you reached your rented little locker room, you find your new manager. Now, this is someone who you've met a couple of times, and I tell you what, you're honestly thankful that they're willing to take on your cause, because at such a low level, and I'm not referring to your character level, but as such new fighters to the arena, it's a bit of a gamble for a manager to take you on. And you know that this particular manager is, well, they're in a position to take that sort of gamble, because they're not at a particularly high level either. They're a little green behind the gills, and I do mean that literally, because they are a Triton. Now, a Triton is one of the individuals who lives underwater for the most part, and so I would like your help. If you want to just put your answer in chat there. I'm curious, what sort of home do you think that essentially a mer person would have in a big city like this? Now, consider them amphibious. Is not entirely water-bound, but your manager is a Triton called Ugene. And this person is just taking you on, and they are, well, they're a little nervous. Tuna Sunday says they live in the sewers. Interesting. Okay. Definitely worth a look. Live in the sewers. Okay. So Ugene, the Triton, they are from the ocean originally, as all Tritons are, essentially, with the exception of a few that might run up some rivers, I suppose, live in lakes, like at Hogwarts. But he has come to Racedis Towers in order to become a manager and a promoter. He has taken you on sort of a pro bono basis. You have agreed that he will get you some good fights, and until he gets you some good ones, he's actually willing to work for free. He seems really eager for this. Now, when you come out of the arena for the first time in our adventure here, after your goblin fight, he comes to you and meets you in the green room and says, "Oh, yeah, look, I didn't know it was going to be a goblin fight. I thought I did my research, but hey, it looks like you did great anyway. Lenaith, thanks for keeping an eye on Halvir and Halvir. Hey, I didn't know they were going to be anti-magic for sure, but you did great. Celius, I saw you, putting the hurt on him." He's pretty nervous. He is, of course, he is, as a manager, as accepted as his fighters are. And since y'all are not accepted yet, he is going to be on the outside of the regular fighter circles. He doesn't have access to people like, some of the upper managers, some of the superstar managers would. But he did do a good job in collecting your money. He has got it. It is back at his home. It is sort of doled out during the fight, I imagine. And he says, "Well, let's head over to my place. I've got your winnings in there. Let's see. I think it should be 5 gold apiece. And you notice he's starting to look a little nervous. He looks nervous all the time, but even more so than usual. What you are seeing from him is that he doesn't want to tell you something. And I think as you walk, he's trying to hide it, but you can tell he's sort of circling into the point. Now, I have been talking to some people via Discord. That is how we're going to do some of the in-between stuff, is on the Discord. And so I have some information. It's not going to be, I'm going to do sort of a feed in a little bit at a time, but I definitely want to share the things that we've learned here. I've been asking questions in the Discord of the different teams to sort of help me build up the lore around them. I think as we're walking, we're walking through Racedis Towers, and As we've talked about before, this is the jewel of the kingdom. It is a magical metropolis full of these enormous towers. It's a very vertical city. If you were to look down from the walkways between the different towers, that they spiderweb between all the different towers in the city, and if you look down over the edge, you can see down deep into the city, down where the sunlight starts to fade, and as you walk, you are heading lower and lower into the city, toward the sewers. Now, Tuna Sunday has generously given us the sewers as a possible location for Ugene's home, and I think it's a pretty good one. You know, initially I was thinking maybe something a little bit more stately, but you know what? They are young in the game just like you are, and so we'll be getting into what y'all's home looks like, home or homes look like now, or we'll get into that later. But we do know that as you walk down, as you are descending toward the sewers, there are some quiet moments. Ugene seems perhaps reticent to tell you, and so as you sort of wait for him to work up to the point, I think Team Lenath is thinking about why they left the wilderness to come and fight in the arena. And I want to thank Vintage Days for this in the Discord. I think we have sussed out that Lenath is dealing with a loss. We'll be digging more into this later, and I might ask questions about this during the session at some point once we've got, actually, you know what? Let's stack onto it now. I think Lenath, you are walking near your companions, maybe slightly behind. And Lenath is thinking about why they left the wilderness. As I said, thinking Vintage Days for this little cannon. What do we call it? Let's call it cannon fodder, maybe. Oh boy, there's my good little joke. Cannon with two ends technically. Perfect. Yeah, thank you, Vintage Days. Vintage Days has said maybe he's lost someone. And I don't know that we've put a gender on Lenath yet. I think, you know what? Let's just keep it how it is for right now. I think Lenath, they have lost someone. And Lenath has suggested maybe someone left him or a family member close to him died. But they go to the arena because drinking and fighting, they've got an opportunity to kick some butt instead of being, out in the wilderness where I think at this point it's just too quiet. So if you get an idea of who Lenath lost, you can go ahead and throw that into chat. And that one is that one's reserved for Team Lenath. That's a decision for Team Lenath. Yeah, so you can be Lenath is thinking about that. I think I also got some cannon fodder from Team Halvir, and Halvir is probably walking along next to Ugene, talking about magic. And I'm not going to go through the whole conversation here, but the magic that Halvir wields is it sounds like kind of elemental based. I don't know if they're a full I don't know that we would call them like Last Airbender style bender, because I think the magical power comes from more than that. But I do think that is probably where they draw most of their energies is from the elements. So finally, Ugene gets to the point. Hey, I didn't want to mention it, but we do have maybe a bit of an issue. And his Triton face falls a bit, and he says, I got a note during the fight. It's signed the Munda crew. I get the sense that that's the goblins that you were fighting. Look, it's pretty threatening. They said they were going to do something to my place. I don't know how they found my place, but look, I'm a little nervous to go in there by myself. Would you mind accompanying me in? And so you do. He shows you the note, and you can see in very rough scrawl, written in muddy-looking ink, um, you do magic fight, we get you good. Coming home. Excuse me? It's some goblin scrawl, and it is signed the Munda Munda crew. The Munda Munda crew they're not well known, but as of the end of the fight, as you were sort of walking out, you heard some talk about them. They are the goblin crew that you fought back in the arena, and they are none too happy about being put up against a magic user. It seems like they perhaps were equally dissatisfied with the goblin fight, but they have decided that they are going to lay the hurt down on you somewhere at home. Now, at the upper levels of the fight, this sort of out of the ring stuff, a little bit more subtle. The champions will spar with one another outside of the ring, outside of the arena, but not so clearly or blatantly. Looks like the Munda Munda gang, they're not quite so interested. So as you enter the sewers, and I imagine this is not, deep in the base of the towers, because I think it might take you, between all the staircases and all the different pathways you'd have to go down. I think getting down to the very base of the city where the towers actually meet Earth, I think that would probably take like hours and hours to get all the way down there. So I think you are at some sort of sewer hub up in one of the towers. I think it is a spot that he certainly wouldn't call part of the sewers. He insists that it's not part of the sewers. But as you enter, you find yourself in what looks like some very old stonework. This building, you can recognize it as a sort of public works building by some of the plaques that are on the walls. But the architecture is old and boring. And as you enter, you get in through the stone archway, and you start to descend through a series of tunnels inside this tower between all the massive pipework. You start to notice green slime growing on the wall. You start to notice that the floor is a little more slippery than usual. And you enter Ugene's home. Now, there's a stink in here. Ugene doesn't mind because he doesn't have a sense of smell above water. But for the rest of you, especially I would think Lenath, who's got some heightened senses, it's a rough one. But you managed to get in there. Now, he says, okay, come into my living room. It's not much, but it's a living. Well, it's cheap anyway. And he enters with you into a large circular room. You could imagine about as big around as... Oh boy, this is tough. This is tough because usually when I'm in a room with a group, I would just use the room itself, say like double this room or what have you. So I need something to compare it to. It's probably about 20 yards around, 20 yards in diameter. So not a terribly large room, and there's a little walkway around the outside edge. A yard is about equal to a meter, for anyone who needs that conversion. So it's about 20 yards, 20 meters across. It's a big circular room with a stone walkway all the way around the edge, and at part of that edge, there's a stone staircase that leads up to the entrance to the room. It's a small archway you have to bend over to get in, and Ugene takes you in here and says, well, see, that's my living room down there, and I haven't noticed anything else wrong with the place, so whatever's going on, I'm guessing it's down there. I don't know how they found out where I live, though. And Tuna says, what if I don't know what a yard or a meter is? That's going to be, it's 3 feet, if that helps. Asking for a friend. Yeah, and so you find yourselves in a cistern, which is a large collection of water. You surmise that this is probably rainwater collected from the top of the towers that is collected here in this big basin. But compared to the rest of the place, it's relatively clean. This is where a lot of, some section of tower somewhere is getting their drinking water, their fresh water from this place. which is a little disconcerting when you realize Ugene lives down in the water before it's piped off to somebody else. And you can see down below there's some sort of Triton furniture, which is a little strange. You see a collection of sort of, it looks like very like bioluminescent plant life with some big soft looking leaves. I froze up. What's going on there? Anyway, there we go. Some big soft looking leaves down on this this plant that's glowing in kind of a minty green. You surmise that's going to be the bed. You see a couple of chests and crates down at the bottom. As you're looking through the very slightly cloudy water, Ugene says, "Well, this seems to be the spot. Would you mind checking it out for me?" And you have agreed to do so. So, we're into it. Let's play. What do the three of you do? I'm going to take this in popcorn initiative order. Go ahead and take your actions. Actually, first, if you want to go really quick, if y'all want to, anyone who's new here, if you want to just jump in and spam some controls really quick. Actually, I have to adjust my settings for this. I had to adjust them for a test stream, and I am going to adjust them back down because they're too high right now. Just a moment. Okay, and your mixed play is gonna blink really quick here. Okay, should be back. So, you have arrived at your destination. This is Ugene's home. It is yeah. Sorry, I made everybody rejoin. It's my bad. At least we've got one person, at least one person for each team right now. What do you all do? I will accept a move from anyone. You have entered into this big. It's a pretty dark room. There are some additional bioluminescent, slightly brighter luminescent plants down under the water, but the glow only penetrates so far into the darkness up here. And you've got a big arched ceiling above you. You've got one door. It's behind you. And then the little stone staircase that leads to the ring of stone around this pool of water. Okay, Celius is going to spout lore about the place. So, going to consult your accumulated knowledge. Let's see. I'm going to roll plus intelligence. Now, if I remember correctly, our barbarian is not super intelligent. At a -1, that is a 4. So, unfortunately, you are looking around and you... oh, boy. That text is a mess, isn't it? Let's see. I'm going to change my chat box colors again. But yeah, you are looking around, Celius, and I think Celius just sort of shrugs and grunts. It doesn't appear that Celius has much to offer on this place. But yes, indeed, Mark XP. And you know what, McCoy? I think I forgot to do that last time. I want to say we had not too many, but we had at least one. But yeah, Celius, that's XP for you. In this game, when you have a full failure, this is after the math. If your total roll equals 6 or less, a full failure, you mark experience for that. Okay. Javier is going to cast light on the staff. So it is going to glow up. And you succeed in doing so. Well, let's see. Hold on, because perhaps you do not succeed in doing so. We're going to have to find out. So we've got a spell cast from our ranger. Getting the kinks out a little bit. Because rolling a 3 on 2d6, that gets you to a... that gets you up to a 5. Which is not enough to make it happen. So, I don't think this spell is. I don't think this spell kicks up for you. I think for some reason, just the wetness of this place. You try to get your staff slips a little bit from your grip, and I think it splashes into the edge of the water. You catch it, certainly, before it ends up fully in the water, but Celia says, "Talk about a glow-up." But the splash reverberates out from the location where the spell fell, where your staff fell in the water, and as you watch the ripples go out, you see little points of light start to glow just for a moment. They just sort of fade in and then fade out. You can't tell what exactly it is, but something under the surface of the water glows up and down very quickly. And Ugene from next to you says, well, that isn't normal. That I don't know what that is. You notice some of these lights blink additionally, and they sort of, as they fade in, they are a little dimmer, and then they fade back out. But you know, they are coming slightly closer to the edge of the pool where this staff touched the water. What do y'all do? You can hear the dripping sounds from up above as the water trickles in. Lenath is going to discern realities about the lights. Okay, you're going to roll plus wisdom. Let's see. You got a 9 plus your wisdom, which I believe is at least 1. Yeah. So that's a 10, which is a full success. On a 10 plus, ask the GM 3 questions from below. Remember, Sunglasses Boy is B. Let's see. I need to adjust my chat box again, because that ain't working for me. I'm going to adjust it like that, and then I'm going to add my shadow box back in. There we go. Okay, so you should be able to see chat a little bit better there. And let me zoom in here so y'all can see this better as well. I realize it's not perfect, but we're making it work. So, which 3 would you like to ask, McCoy? You have got access to 3 of these different questions. You can just throw the letter in and I'll know what you're talking about. Oh, that's actually a good note. I should probably, once you make that move, I should probably have it bring you back to that menu instead of dropping you back in the basic moves. B, C, and F. Okay, so what is about to happen? Let's see. What is about to happen? What should I be on the lookout for? And what here is not what it appears to be? So the lights. I think you take a close look at these lights. And this is what the Discern Realities move is for. Both Discern Realities and actually all 3 of you, Celius, Halvir, and now Lenath, you made good moves. Some of them panned out better than others, but light is a good option if you want to, get a better look at a dark place. The spout lore option that Celius took is one where that's when you want to think, do I know anything about this already? And Discern Realities that Lenath has just used is great for, like, I just want to take a close look at this thing and try to understand it better, or I want to try to spot something like that. So, I'll start with question F, because these answers will sort of lead into one another. What here is not what it appears to be. It's the lights themselves, of course. They're not magic lights as it appears as it appeared at first, but you look very, very closely at them, and you realize that even when they're out, you can see some sort of, it's a vague shape, as if there's something kind of clear in the water. And as you're looking closely, you can see it's not just a shape. It appears to be a small squid-like creature, very small. I would say about the size of, I'm going to say like 3 inches long. Very, very small. They cast off a light a little bit like a lightning bug or something like that. And so yeah, you see these little squid in the water, and they're very, very difficult to see unless they're lit up. But as you lean in and take a closer look, that's what you get. You also see, what should you be on the lookout for? Well, as they glow, you see very occasionally, and it appears to be perhaps when their tentacles brush against one another, you see there is a tiny little crackle, a spark under the water. And so you can see there is some sort of perhaps electrical current running through these. They appear to be bioactive. I don't remember what the term is for it, but they've got some sort of electrical something going on with them. And yeah, I can do that, Sander. There we go. That should work. So that is 2 of your 3. And then B, what is about to happen? Well, someone's about to have to do something to get down to the chest with your earnings in it. He must have dropped it off here before the fight and then come down to watch you fight. But your 5 coin apiece are sitting down in that. They're down in the chest down there. So somebody's gonna need to either get these things out or head down there and get your earnings. Okay, what do you do? Talk about a glow up. Unacceptable, Celius. All right, Lenaith is going to... Okay, we've got a call to defy danger. Okay. I tell you what, Lenaith, what is it you are trying to accomplish here? And McQuico, you can answer this one just directly in chat if you want. Yeah, what is your intent here? Because if you're looking down, you can see it's gonna be, the cistern is at least as deep as it is wide, so it's about 20 yards down. Which, you know, even for a good swimmer, that might be a little challenging. Challenging, but certainly not impossible. Lenaith attempts to swan dive. Okay. All right, so you're just going to make a dash for it then. I see. Okay, yeah, I think I will certainly let you make your defy danger, and I'll take the... I don't remember what the roll was. Oof, a 4. But it's plus dex, that'll get you up to a 6. Okay, so what's going to happen here? This is a 6, which means that if somebody were to use the aid move, then you would be able to try and help her out. But, well, as it stands, that's an oof. That's an oof, McQuaque. You've rolled a 6 here, which means that as you dive into the water... Send help, throw a rope, somebody, please. Yeah, you are Celius the Hungry is going to aid Lenaith. Okay, sounds good. You rolled an 8 out of it on a 2d6. Okay, so you are going to give it a +1, but you also expose yourself to danger, retribution, or cost. So here's what we're gonna do. Lenaith, you dive into the water, and I think what's going to happen here is, so it makes both of you a partial success. And what's going to happen, I think, is that, Lenaith, you dive down. You've certainly attracted some attention, but Tuna, how is it that you want to try and aid here, just out of curiosity? Lenaith has dived down into the water, and as they are heading downward, they look back up and they can see sort of a rippling effect of these glowing lights. And as they glow, you can see they are kind of closing in above you around the water. Which means that unless something changes, you are not going to be able to get out. So this is independent of the whatever Tuna Sunday is doing here to have Celius help out. But I think unless I get notified otherwise, I think what Tuna Sunday is doing, oh, I splashed the water up top to distract them. Okay, that's exactly what I imagined you'd be up to. Yeah, so Celius, I think you take your hand, and it's your offhand, but you splash it around in the water to distract these little creatures, and so Lenaith down underneath, you have succeeded in getting, I would say, about halfway down for right now. So in other words, another turn and you could get all the way down, but it's deep enough. You're going to have to make a couple of these checks. The ones near the top have closed off your exit to the pool. And Tuna Sunday has got Celius on the edge of the pool with their Minotaur hand in the water splashing around. As you do so, you're trying to avoid these things, but I think you get nicked just slightly, Celius. And in doing so, you feel a wild shock run up your left arm. Actually, you know what? I don't know that that's your off arm. I'm just gonna say it's your off arm. I'm not gonna tell you what handedness you are, because that's gonna be different for different people. So on your off arm, the one you don't typically use for things, you feel a massive shock run up your arm, and you feel your arm start to go a little numb. I'm sorry. Tuna says, "How dare you assume my off arm?" Yeah, no, never again. Of course not. Why didn't it? Oh. There we go. Yeah, so Celius's off arm is now hanging a little limply from the side, and you try to move it around, and it feels just numb and weird. So you're wondering what's going on there. What are the rest of you up to? Javier especially. You had one casting that didn't turn out perhaps exactly like you wanted it to. But I will take this in sort of popcorn initiative style. I think that's been working okay, and that is the way that this game is designed to work. Is kind of whoever wants to do something specific can go ahead and make that action. Meanwhile, Ugene is up on the top saying, "Hey, I don't know what those things are, but you're gonna want to be pretty careful. Hey, Celius, what's going on with your arm? That doesn't look quite right." And Ugene is actually going to come down and is like grasping your arm, Celius, and trying to, like, you know, fiddle with it, trying to sort of get the blood moving in it again. It doesn't seem to be helping, but Ugene is definitely concerned about the well-being of his fighters, for sure. Yeah, I'll take an order from whichever team would like to jump forward. The room is still pretty quiet, and you look down through the surface of the water, Javier and Celius, and you can see Lenaith swimming downward toward the bottom of this water here. You do wonder, I think, how these goblins were able to get this stuff down here. But they've certainly done a job. They have put something in the water here. How dare you assume my off arm? All right. Lenaith is going to keep swimming. So instead of, I'll have you make another. Actually, you know what? At this point, I think it's going to be a Constitution check. So go ahead and do Defy Danger with Constitution. Because this one, I think you're trying to, like, you've made the sort of dodge maneuver. This one is to sort of hold your breath and continue to swim. Because that's not challenging to swim. You're not trying to go super quickly or anything. What you are trying to do is hold your breath. And so, you rolled an 8. That is a partial success, which means that you are going to stumble, hesitate, or flinch. I will offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. Okay, and says Lenaith. and Halvir is going to cast Magic Missile as well. Okay. So, first of all, on your partial success there, that is going to be, let's see, do you stumble, hesitate, or flinch? I'm going to offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. I'll say it's going to be a worse outcome. You get down there, and the moment you touch the chest and try to swing the lid open, you don't hear it, but you can feel it. It is locked shut. And up at the top, you don't hear it, but Ugene slaps a hand to their moist forehead and just says, "Oh, I did lock that. Well, I mean, at least they weren't able to steal your winnings, huh? Not ideal. So that is your partial success. You have reached the chest itself, but it is locked for right now. So you'll have to do something about that. Halvir is going to cast Magic Missile at them to attract them and get the water. Get the monster out of the water. So you rolled a 5 on 2d4, but you've got a +2 intelligence, so that is a 6, 7. So that is a partial. Wait. Oh no, you rolled a 7, which is a +2, 8, 9. So it's still a partial success. And then 5 for your damage. So, projectiles of pure magic spring from your fingertips. And I imagine, since you're dealing with kind of a water creature, this magic missile takes kind of a fiery form here, and you can see the little flames licking your fingers as it charges up, and then you blast it into the water here next to Celius. And you are going to do your damage, but you are also going to have to choose from that magic, the spellcasting list of one drawback, I believe. On a partial success, spell is cast, but you choose one. Draw unwelcome attention. Spell disturbs the fabric of reality. Okay, you draw unwelcome attention and put yourself in a spot. The GM will tell you how. Okay. I think what's going to happen here is that you manage to you blast the surface of the water. And as you do so, the splash ripples up over the edge, and you can see as the water rushes back in that the ground around you is littered with a couple of these glowing spots, but they glow up and then they disappear. So you know you are looking down at your feet. First of all, you realize they're only 3 inches long, but there are dozens of them here. You're definitely going to deal your damage. Don't worry about that. I will get to that in just a second. But you are looking down and you realize that you sort of put yourself in a spot here. You splashed a bunch of them up onto the ground where you're standing, and you are looking around and you don't know where they're at, because once they stop glowing, they're very hard to see. But you definitely do your damage. So you're going to do 2d4 damage, and these are they all bunch up. They're like rats, or even the goblins work a little bit like this. So you're going to have an opportunity to hit more than just the one, even though the rule says you are, at least in this instance. Again, I'm not going to promise it every time, but this time you can hit more than one. So let me go to my notes really quick. Okay. And a 5 is not a bad roll for your damage there. So yeah, you have done 5 damage. We're just going to take kind of their overall numbers down. Okay, so this is I'm gonna, it was a partial success, not a full failure or anything. So I think it's only put you in a spot. You haven't put your friends in danger as well. But yeah, you were looking down around your feet, and you're not sure where these little buggers have disappeared to. Who is up? Whoever wants to jump in, I'm ready for it. Sander says, now they're out and we can attack them easier. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. If you had a better way to sort of see them, or honestly, even just a good, if you were to, here's what we'll say. If you were to make a hack and slash move, I would just have you make a defy danger with wisdom roll. That's kind of your a check to just see one thing, essentially. and then depending on that would sort of set up your difficulty. But Sander, this was a smart move. This was a move to kind of designed to put you in a better position. So I would give you +1 to that roll for sure. And Tuna Sunday is going to attack the nearest one. Tuna, are you in a position where you can put the roll in? It's going to be a wisdom saving throw, essentially. A wisdom defy danger. And it'll probably be a couple of them. They're very small. You'd have a chance to get a few of them at once. They're very small. Celius is going to defy danger through, this one says through mental fortitude, but wisdom is almost always the check to like perceive something. When you act, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you got a 6 plus your wisdom, which is, I'm going to guess a 0. It's a 0 plus 1. Uh-oh, Celius. Okay, so I'm going to say that that the result of your failure here is that you do not get to take your attack because you can't see them. Unfortunately, what you are doing is you're sort of looking around like you sort of reach down to pick through them and realize like, oh no, that's a terrible idea. And you pull your hand back up, but as you do, you hear a squelch. And I'll say the hoof on your on side, so the opposite side, that the one that the arm that you got stung on, that hoof, you feel a little jolt and you start to go numb there as well. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that you are now shaky. Until you get a chance to do something about this, you are shaky, which is a -1 ongoing until you can get rid of that shaky tag to any dexterity checks that you make. But yeah, you did your best, but these things are very, very difficult to see, especially when they're not glowing, but even more so when they're just on this dark stone instead of in the water. Okay. What do y'all do? You still get y'all are still going to get that +1 to any wisdom check to try and perceive these things, the ones that are up on the surface here, because it was a smart move by Celius, or by Halvir. Let's see, Halvir is going to cast light on all the monsters. Okay, now I'm going to give you a chance to possibly rethink this, but keep in mind, an item that you touch glows with arcane light, about as bright as a torch. So you would have to touch these things in order to get to them. I will give you that opportunity, and as a matter of fact, I would give you an opportunity. It says an item that you touch. Typically, this would be like creatures would be off limit, but I'm gonna say why the heck not for this one. Sander, you can just say yes or no, thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you still want to do this? Because I would let you get a bunch of them if you did. Okay, on the staff instead. Gotcha. Okay. A 5 and plus your intelligence, that is a 6, 7. So go ahead and pick one of those 3 again for the spellcasting one, because it's a partial success. And Michaela Money, hi, welcome. How's it going? We're playing Dungeon World. If you want to play, if you're on desktop, you should be able to see the panel already. If you are on mobile, then you can go ahead and click the 3 dots in the corner of the screen and pull up the Mix Play panel. Okay. Yeah, so I think you are, so you light up the torch, you light up the staff, and you are waving this over these creatures here, trying to get a better look at them. And let's see, where am I at here? Okay. Draw unwelcome attention or put yourself in a spot. The GM will tell you how. I'm going to say, what sort of deviousness do I want to put forth here? I think Halvir is going to slip. Now this is not a full failure or anything, and you're not going to take any damage yet, but you did slip, and so now you are on the ground. You sort of freeze up for a second, and the ground is very slippery. You hear Ugene go, oh no, keep your footing. Oh, good grief. And you slip and you end up on your back, and you hold very still for a moment. It's a terrible feeling not knowing if you're going to suddenly get stung by these things. You don't, but you are going to have to essentially you're going to have to defy danger when you want to get back to your feet. Meanwhile, Michaela, welcome to Team Michaela. Oh, great. Now we've got 2 Michaelas on Team Linnaeus. So, Michaela Money, I'll just call you Michaela Money and McQuaquay. Money. Okay. All right, team. Anyone can go ahead and put it in an order. Go ahead and let me know what y'all are up to. Sandra has to step out for a minute or two. Okay. But Sandra has gone ahead and Halvir has cast some light. So Linnaeus is going to... okay. Yeah, so Michaela Money, the Defy Danger ones are ones that I would have to call for when I'm going to have you roll those. And it might help to kind of check out how this sort of works. If you want to go ahead and read through the different panels, but the Defy Danger one specifically is one that I would call for. But teams, what are you getting up to? And I should really include that as a note. Defy Danger is different among all of those because generally that's one that I would ask you to do instead of you just going ahead and doing it. It's an odd move in that respect, but I should note that. Michaela Money, it is perfectly all right. That's my bad. I got to put a note on there about that. But you can feel free to put in other orders there if you see anything else that looks like a good idea. Okay. Tuna is going to attempt to see them again. Yeah, and I think now that you've got some additional light in here too, go ahead and take a +2 to your wisdom roll. It's going to be Defy Danger with wisdom again. Let's see. We've got Halvir frozen on the ground, but holding the lit staff up above these creatures, and Celius goes ahead and tries to take a better look this time, rolling a 3 plus a 0 plus 2. Hey Nate, how does this feel? How's it feel, Nate, to be on the receiving end of that one? You get the oof this time. Okay, so once again, it's tough to see these things, and I think between the slipping and these things being on this dark stone, it's very difficult to see, and you step on another one. Now at this point, you have certainly incurred. Oh, by the way, that is. Let's see. You've had 2 failures of this, so that's a 5 here. I think you've had 2 full failures on that, and we definitely had at least 1 full failure from Team Halvir as well. Yeah, I might need y'all's help with that one. Anytime somebody rolls a total of 6 or less, after I do the math, a total of 6 or less, so a full failure. Anytime somebody has a full failure, go ahead and remind me because I do need to mark XP for them. But at this point, Celius, you get stung on your other hoof, and you can feel your whole body. It has essentially been it's in rough shape here. It is vaguely overwhelmed by this stuff. So you are officially paralyzed, and I think you stumble, and Ugene tries to like hold you up, but you're a minotaur. You are massive, and tritons are not that big, and they're not that strong above water either. So you stumble and fall with your big bovine tongue hanging out. against the stairs here, and so you're sort of propped up and you're sitting up, but you've got one working arm. Your two legs are both numb. Your off arm is numb, and you are, well, you're in kind of bad shape here. Let's see. I'll probably come back to you for a constitution check later on to see if you can shake this off. But Team Lenath, let's hear from you. What is it you would like to do? So for anyone who is just tuning in, Lenath is currently down in this pool of water. Celius the Hungry says, I fall asleep. The Team Lenath, Lenath is currently, they have doven, that's definitely not it, but whatever. They've doven down into this cistern here, and they are at the chest. They are at Ugene's chest where their winnings are kept, and it's locked. It's locked, and they are separated from the surface. So, what is it you would like to do, Team Lenath? And I will probably, I think while Sander is gone, unless somebody else joins Team Halvir, I'll probably take an action every once in a while for them. But yeah, so I think Lenath is... Oh, never mind. Sander's back. Wonderful. Okay, so Sander, just to update you really quick. Lenath is still down at the bottom of the cistern, and Celius has unfortunately gotten stung once more. I'm giving a... between you pushing these little creatures, you don't know exactly what they are yet, back onto the surface so that they can't move around. They have to hold still. Between that and the light from your staff, I'm giving a +2 to the wisdom check, but still Celius got stung again, and so they are paralyzed, all but one arm, over against the just kind of slumped against the staircase here. But yeah, Team Lenath, what are you getting up to? It's definitely going to be tough to hold your breath down here. Celius is not wise, says Tuna, indeed. But yeah, what is it you would like to do? And, you know, in this instance, it might be, it's fine to ask questions and to, you know, try and understand the situation better, if you've got reason to do so. If you've got some investigation you need to do. And by the way, Team Lenath, I think it was specifically, but I also noticed that Jasmine, who was working with Team Halvir, I believe, was having a similar issue. At least I was seeing a lot of, like, rejoining the team a lot. It looks on my end like you haven't had the issue with that anymore, but I might not be clued into that quite as much. Okay, Lenath is down at the bottom of this pool, trying to breathe, and Sander, you haven't missed anything. You are Halvir is on their back, and I would say go ahead and Team Halvir, give me a. It's going to be a dexterity check to try and get back up without getting stung by one of these things. Halvir is going to discern realities. Okay, so we're going to say you're still on your back then. If you're not going to get up, then you don't have to do the defy danger for that until you try to stand up. But try to discern realities about a way to better the situation. Okay. Let's see. Discern realities, this can be plus wisdom. What's your wisdom? Uh-oh. That is a +1, which gets you a total of 4. Now, you are definitely going to mark XP for this, of course. Okay, it's not 45, though. It's just 5. Okay, so you mark XP, and y'all are getting close to leveling up for the first time, I think. Definitely the barbarian and the wizard are. Okay. On a 4, unfortunately, you don't get to check out one of these answers, and I think just from your position on your back, you're sort of looking around and you can't see much, and Well, I do think you do for the first time you get stung. Um, I think it gets you in one of your ankles, and so one of your legs starts to feel a little numb. It's kind of asleep. um, and you can see what happens if you get stung a lot. Looks like Celius is over on the corner there. By the way, Team Halvir, take a look at your inventory. You might have, that's the little backpack. You might have something that could be helpful here. But Team Linnaeus, I am definitely, I'm open to kind of whatever moves you want to take here. And then for Celius, if you want to give me a Defy Danger with Constitution, we'll see if you can shed off some of these effects here. I'm going to call this kind of a spectrum roll. Your ability to shed off its effects are going to depend on, you know, how well you roll here. And I think in order to just for the sake of keeping the flow rolling, oh, interesting. Going to use a book. Okay. Okay, actually, Sander, that's not what I was referring to, but that'll definitely help out. Okay. No, it's perfectly all right. Yeah, I will go ahead and mark that off for you, and I will address that in just a second. This is going to be a check just to see if Celius can sort of shove off these effects of this thing, and it doesn't appear so. Defy Danger with Constitution. Yep, that's your Constitution is a 1, so a 5 plus a 1 gives us only a 6. And this is one of the reasons why failing gives you XP, because you know what? In spite of all of this, in spite of all these oofs, you are getting very close to leveling up here. Okay, but Sander is going to use a book. So Halvir quickly, just from the ground, without getting up yet. Once again, like once you want to get up and start to take actions that would require you to be standing, I'll have you make a dexterity check. But as long as you're still on the ground, you're just on the ground. And you know these things are sort of semi-invisible around you. You pull out a book, and you pull out. I'll just say it's a book on, you know, I'll call them. It's I'll tell you what it is. It's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. That's the book that you pull out. And let me go ahead and mark that on your sheet here. This is your books. Let's see. You've got. Come on. You now have 4 uses of this. The You pull out your book and you quickly leaf through the pages to, you know, aquatic creatures, and you find the picture of what you're looking for. You got a bare glimpse of it, but you know just enough to remember, you know what, there's a page with sort of a half invisible drawing of a maggot squid. This is a maggot squid. They are not terribly uncommon here in the city. They can be caught. They can be found typically in much dirtier water than this. But what do? Well, their instinct is to eat. But before they can eat, before they can sort of swarm and eat with their soft little beaks, they paralyze, and they paralyze by touch. They are very small and they are very weak creatures, but they tend to swarm. One thing that you do know is that an antitoxin would eliminate the effects of someone who has been stung. But yeah, Halvir, that's what you learn. So you learn that you are up against maggot squids. Their instinct is to eat, and they can paralyze with a touch. But they're small and weak, but they kind of hoard in. Okay, who's up next? I'll take orders from anybody. I think I'm gonna give our ranger, and I'm only gonna do this when you know we don't have the availability of someone to pilot for the ranger, or you know, whatever character. So someday I'm not gonna be doing this at all once we got more people in here. But let's see, what is it you want to do here? We have an animal companion named Fish. I wonder if that would be of any use. Let's see. All right, your friend has indeed been lamed. Michaela Money, welcome back. Okay, and yeah, we've still got Michaela Money. We've got Lenath is down at the bottom of this cistern. They're about 20 yards down, trying to open up this chest. You can go ahead and put an order in if you've got something that you would like to do there. You can use anything from the basic moves, but anything from the starting moves. None of the characters have an advanced move yet. You'll be getting. Looks like some of you will be getting them soon because you get one every time you level up. But Halvir is going to give Celius one of the antitoxin bottles. You've got 3 of them, so let me mark that off. Okay, well, I'll just write here. It's 2 antitoxin. Okay, and Celius, you are back on your feet. It takes a minute to sort of take effect, and Eugene runs over and tiptoes and Ugene grabs the antitoxin bottle and delicately walks back to Celius without mixed play isn't working for Michaela. I'm not sure. Are you on what platform are you on? Michaela Money? Are you on desktop or on mobile? Yep, so Halvir says, here you go. We don't have a voice picked out for them yet. That's okay. I think we'll decide that in the Discord. But Halvir offers this antitoxin, and it's a little slow to take effect, but it does definitely take effect, and it slowly warms your extremities again, Celius, and you feel yourself pop back up. So you are both not paralyzed anymore, and you are rid of this shaky tag. Now you are still prone to this. There's still the possibility you could get stung again, but the effects of the stings you've incurred so far are gone. Michaela Money, what sort of mixed play issue are you having right now? If it's just not showing up, then you can hit the 3 buttons in the corner. Otherwise, I mean, I can check on my end, see if there's any issues here. Things are looking functional for me. I'm not sure what that would be about. Okay. Okay, so I will come to you in just a second, but here, I will give you this. Actually, you know what? I'll pull up the basic moves to try and... Yeah, you can go ahead and try again, but I'm going to pull up the basic moves sheet just so you can take a look at it, and, perhaps you can just read off what it is you want to use here. Hopefully that's enough to be able to see it. So those are the basic moves, and then of course you've got your special ranger abilities. But Sander is going to is wondering, what does Halvir need to do in order to stand up? Halvir, go ahead and make Defy Danger with Dexterity for me. And you're trying to... Okay, perfect. And you're gonna get an 11, which is fantastic. I don't think you're slower than usual. I think you've got just a regular old, like... I don't want to move away from the screen for right now, but I believe you have a... I think it's a 0, but at the very least, you don't have your -1. I remember that's in Constitution. So... you are going to, you've got a full success. You're going to hop up off the ground, and you are totally fine. You're a little anxious at first. You have to use your staff to sort of prop yourself up very slowly, but you do manage to stand back up. So you're back on your feet now, Halvir, and you are ready to move. And Michaela Money, I don't know if have you ever played an RPG before? If you have, then I'll certainly be willing to, I'm assuming a lot of people are new to this particular RPG, but if you've got an idea of what it is you'd like for Lenath to try and accomplish, then you can just tell me in chat, and I'll sort out what the best move is for it. Michaela Money has not, and that is perfectly all right. This is beginner friendly. Go ahead and just let me know. So your current situation is Lenath is down at the bottom of this cistern. It's a big stone tank, essentially. It's like a little bit like a water tower, but you are on the inside of it, and this is where your manager, Ugene, lives. All right, see you in a bit, Tuna. Your manager is a Triton, so like a mer person, and he lives in this big cistern. But it's about 20 yards across, 20 meters across, and 20 deep as well. And you are at the bottom of it right now, and above you there are a bunch of little maggot squids. You don't know that they're called that yet. What you do know is that you don't want to touch them. But they're above you, kind of cutting off your passage, and you are down here at the bottom of this, trying to get a chest open. This chest belongs to Ugene, and you are trying to get open because it has their winnings from the last fight in here. So, do you have any idea what it is Lenath would like to do? And in the meantime, let's see. I'll just get an idea of what... and Michaela Money, not even necessarily in terms... It doesn't have to be in terms of, like, picking a specific move to take. If you just sort of let me know what it is you would like to try and accomplish, then, hopefully I can help you find the best move here. Especially as this, this show's pretty young, and I think it's gonna be a while before we've got more experienced people in that will kind of help the newer people learn. Until then, we're gonna play a little fast and loose. And I'm gonna get an idea of what I think the barbarian's gonna get up to. While I hear what Michaela Money thinks Lenath might try to do. Or anybody from Team Lenath. I am, of course, still accepting orders from anyone on Team Lenath here. So, our barbarian... Let's see. Upper hand, what are you waiting for? Try to open it. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, and is your mix play working again, Michaela Money? Or is it still goofed up? Because if it is, then I can try to take a roll for you. I tell you what. Nope, still not working. Okay, I'll make the roll then. But we've got Lenath is going to try and open the chest. Now, are you going to try and sort of lockpick it, would you say? Or are you just going to try and bash it open? Because, you are going to, lockpicking it will take a little bit more time. And you are down at the bottom of a basin here, and it's full of water. So, and by the way, welcome to Scooter Patrol. Unshapen Snow, welcome. Good to have you here. But yeah, do you think you'll try to sort of lockpick it and take a little bit more time, or do you think you're going to try and just bash it open, knowing that you're not quite as strong as you are quick? Just bash it open? All right. Let's see how it goes. A 5. Okay. I don't think so. Unfortunately, on anything between a 1 and a 6 is considered you have not been successful. So, I think what's going to happen here is... As you try to bash it open, just the pressure of the water, and you've been down here for a little while, it is taking its toll. And so I think what's going to happen, if I can open mix play very quickly here, which I'm not going to be able to. Let's see. Maybe super quick. Can I do it? Yeah, what's going to happen is you are going to take some damage. It is tough to breathe down here, and so you are finally like you're starting to take its toll. So I'm just gonna roll a d4. Okay, I rolled a 1. Now this is going to ignore armor, but oh, y'all, we're back at full hit points. I don't think I've marked that yet, so let me bump that. So that is going to be you're a 7 out of 8 right now, and so far nobody else has taken any damage, but you do know these things do eat eventually, but it looks like nobody's paralyzed enough yet to start to get their little weird maggot squid beaks. But so Lenath is just trying to bash this thing open down at the bottom of the cistern, and unfortunately, it does not open. So you might have to try and take a different approach this time, or next time, I should say. It's all right. It happens. That is a full failure, so that means that you are going to get experience points, which is going to help you level up. So at least there's that. Not to worry. You've got XP. It's going to help you mitigate things like this in the future, perhaps. Okay. Let's see, what is Team Celius up to? So you're back on your feet, Team Celius, or Sander, I know you're probably still rolling in here. I will take orders from you as well. Sander's ready with it. Magic missile to burn some. Okay, let's see. Roll a 6 plus your 5 plus your plus Halvir's intelligence is a 7. So go ahead and pick one of the 3 from the spellcasting menu, and you're going to deal 2d4 damage to a target. As I said before, I'm going to allow this to spread out a little bit because these things just sort of tend to bunch together. And a 6 is definitely not a bad roll. B, okay. Let's see. What is B? B is going to disturb the fabric of reality as it's cast. You take -1 ongoing to cast a spell until the next time you prepare spells. Okay. So once again, I'm just going to mark the stunned here. You're not stunned. This only counts toward casting a spell, but you're going to take a -1. So instead of a +2, you get a +1. Cool. All right, and you've definitely managed to do 6 damage. Were you aiming at the ones up on the surface here or down in the water? Sander. And then I know that people have to duck out occasionally. The ones around you. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I mean with a 6, you definitely managed to like clear essentially like, I would say half of them up here, but more than half. Let's see. I have to take a look at my notes to see exactly how much damage is done. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that is a solid roll. I would say you are. They are weak. Yes, definitely. So I mean, and that's what I'm saying is like they don't have any armor for this particular thing. You do manage to roast them. You definitely like more than half of them. Like you see them sort of like blacken, and suddenly they're very visible against the stone instead of being clear. But they blacken and they sort of shrivel and curl up, and you watch some of the sparks just sort of like, and you roast like I said, more than half of them up here on the surface. You have got free range to walk around. There's like a little puddle of them over on the side now, where the remaining ones are. But you have definitely done a solid job of getting these, and you're no longer like in a position where you have to tiptoe around. You've eliminated the ones that are close to you. Die, you squids. Yeah, you've definitely eliminated the ones that are close by you here, so you don't have to tiptoe around anymore. There's a little puddle over on the side, but you are free to move around again, essentially. As is Celius, and I think Celius is going to, like I said, occasionally I'll have to, especially in the early stages of this, before we've got many people in, I might have to take control of them. Let's see. I am going to have Celius just essentially like try and stomp him. Try and stomp the Actually, you know what? I think the barbarian is gonna try and I don't know. What is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? I don't think we've got any players in for the barbarian right now, Sander. It's a new show. They always start quiet. I'm okay with it. We'll get people in here, and at some point, we'll have. I would love to have like dozens of people per team helping them make these decisions. But for right now, we're a little light on personnel. That's all right. Okay, I think let's do. I'm gonna say from the adventuring gear, Celius is going to pull a big like cooking pot and use it to try and just like get big bunches of water and just chuck them up onto the ground, onto the stone here. Now, how well are they going to be able to do that? Let's see. Okay, so they're not shaky anymore. I'm gonna have this be it's just gonna be a dexterity check. It just is. Oop. Okay, and then next up I'm gonna be coming to Lenath, so I want to know what y'all are up to. Team Lenath. Okay, a 6. A 6 with dexterity. Okay, can anyone aid Celius? Because if somebody wants to, and all I need is, ideally go into the menu and hit aid, but if somebody on one of the teams, for instance, Michaela Money, is unable to do that for right now, then just let me know. Well, I guess, no, Lenath would have a very tough time aiding in this situation. So I think, Halvir, I think it's up to you. Do you have a different action you're going to take, or do you want to aid our barbarian friend? If not, they level up, because it's actually, I think they might need one more, but it's essentially, I think it's 1 plus. Let's take a look really quick. Halvir, gonna aid, you know it. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me check really quick. But end of session, level up. Current level. When you have downtime, subtract your current level plus 7 and increase your level by 1. Okay, so your current level is 1. Plus 7 is 8, so you need 8 XP in order to level up. But it looks like the barbarian isn't going to get this one because Halvir has saved them. Halvir saves them from getting got again, and I think Halvir is going to. Let's see. Halvir is probably aiding by trying to grab the bucket and help to chuck these things out, and I think that moves both of you into partial success range. So I think you are both going to risk getting stung again. And so I think let's see. For you, Halvir, this is your second sting, so I think your other leg starts to go a little bit numb, and so I'm going to call you shaky. That is not Halvir. So, yep, not again. Halvir, you're going to be shaky, which means you're going to make dex checks at a -1 for the time being. A barbarian, this is their first sting since getting the antitoxin, so they're still just a little weak. It's got one of their feet, but they're not fully shaky yet. Okay, and then Team Lenath, you are down there at the bottom of this pool. You're trying to get this chest open, but it is taking its toll. I'm going to say this is going to be another Constitution check to see. Whoop, what did I do wrong here? There we go. Okay, that one should probably be all right. That one's an 8. Okay, so it's a partial success. So here's what's going to happen. I think, let's see. And whoever is here for Team Lenath can go ahead and help me make this decision. But the question is, Either you can stay down here and you'll be, you can continue to work here, but you are going to take 1d4 damage, or you're going to have to head up to the surface. A, you stay down here and take 1d4 damage, so somewhere between 1 and 4 damage, or B, you head to the surface. A or B? What are we thinking, Team Lenath? It's a tenuous position. I think Lenath is probably looking at this chest, and in Lenath's wild eyes, Unshapen Snow. This is so currently Lenath is we're in Ugene's home. This is it's a large round room about 20 meters, 20 yards across. And then in the basin of this, there's a cistern. So it's a big collection of water. It's like a big round pool. And it's about 20 meters, 20 yards deep. And Lenath is down at the bottom of this because this is where your manager, Ugene, lives, because they are a Triton. They're amphibious, and so they can walk on the surface, but they're strongest in the water. And so Ugene, he lives down in this cistern. And you know what? I think I'll take Unshapen Snow's word for it this time. Let's say it's time to surface. Now, this will sort of like reset your difficulties for right now, because I would say these... Ugene is not a fighter. And here, I'll pop it in chat because it's... Welcome back, Michaela. Okay, Lenath has had to surface. The Ugene is not a fighter. Ugene is a manager, and with that comes, like, they're just not an adventurer. They aren't used to, defying danger. They're not. This is not the life that they lead. They are good at promoting and making promotion deals and setting up good fights and trying to get you paid, which they succeeded in doing. And then they brought it home and put it in the chest for safekeeping. And then the goblins that y'all fought last time came back because they weren't happy with this fight. They decided to take it out on your manager. Now, if you wanted, you could ask Ugene to try and get involved, but we'll see what sort of effect they're able to have. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but in the other room, my girlfriend is teaching her class because, Michaela Money was saying, what is it you said? I'm drinking an iced coffee at 4:28 p.m. This quarantine's got me messed up. Yep, we're a little goofed up here as well. She's teaching from home, and I can hear her. She's playing one of the songs that her kids like. It's an interesting experience. All right, gang. Who's up? I'll take orders from anybody. And if somebody were to want to ask Ugene to get involved, that is a possibility. But like I said, they're not necessarily proficient in this sort of thing. And Michaela's wondering where she teaches. My girlfriend teaches. We're here in Southern California. I try not to give too much identifying information, especially about people who aren't me. But she teaches. She teaches kindergarten here in SoCal. Oh, what does she teach? That's what you asked anyway. Yeah, kindergarten. Okay. I think Lenath comes back up to the surface. Lenath is gasping for breath. I was going to have you start to take possibly, sick or something to like a -1, but I think you've made a good choice to surface here. So Lenath is back on the top of the water, kind of spluttering. But remember, there was that danger that we had from before, the result of your roll from before. And I think here I'm going to have Lenath defy danger with dexterity. You're pretty good at this one. I wouldn't worry about it too much, to try and avoid getting stung. I can hear her out there teaching. Okay. So I will pop the roll in for Lenaith to defy danger with dexterity. Let's see, 2d6. Okay, this is gonna be a +2. 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that's a partial success, which means that I think, yeah, in order to surface, you do manage to do so, Lenaith, but you have to swim over to the far edge of the cistern here, and you end up, you are looking across at where your companions are, and you're separated from them by this little blinking. They very slowly blink on and slowly blink off these lights. All right. Okay, gang. What do we have up next? Halvir is going to hack and slash all that are on the surface. Okay, sounds good. So this is going to be a roll plus strength. And I don't think you've got a... Ooh, you might even have a minus to strength. Nope, just a flat one. Okay, so let's see. Who's going to aid you here? I think Celius is up at the top, so Celius is going to aid you. And again, y'all would be able to make this decision. I don't think we've got anybody in to pilot Celius right now, so I am going to make the roll. Let's see, 2d6 to aid, because you're at a 6 right now. Oh, there we go. Oh, a 10. Okay, so that is a full success. So Celius is going to help you to hack and slash these things up. And so, Sandra, did you mean the ones that are still up here, like on the stonework, or do you mean the ones on the surface of the water? The ones up on the stone? Okay. The first one. Okay, yep, sounds good. Okay, so yeah, you have absolutely managed to eliminate all the ones that are up here on top. They're still in the water though. Yeah, you are able to walk around at your leisure. You can get all the way around now this stone basin without encountering any of these things. But there are still ones in the water. So, what are we doing next? Yeah, I think, let's see. So that gets you up to a 7 to 9. So that means that as you are stomping these things out, they're also going to get to make an attack against you. Now, you are definitely a little safer, but you notice there are some tiny little nibbles on your toes as you are stomping on these things. And again, like regardless of what you use, if you're using, I'm just narrating it as you're stomping on them. But if you used your staff, it would be the same sort of situation here. You're stomping on them, and you take a little bit of a nip. So let me go ahead and make that roll. Where the heck am I? Here we go. Okay, so it's gonna be a D4, pretty gentle. Okay, and this one does not ignore armor. But you don't have any armor, so Halvir, you are down to 2 out of 4 hit points. Not an ideal situation for Halvir, but it did rescue you from a full failure for sure. So Halvir, you are on your feet. You and Celius have helped to eliminate all of the ones up here on the edge of the pool. So now you've just got the ones down here in the pool, and you're looking down. You can still see them glow up occasionally. And I'll take orders from any team here. What is it that you would like to do? Let's see. I think Team Lenaith. Oh, we got another one from Javier. Okay. Discerning reality is about the smartest thing to do. So you rolled a 6 on 2d6. Let's see. It's plus wisdom, which I think for you is +1. Yep. So that is a partial success. So you get to ask me one of these questions. You could just give me the letter of it. A, B, C, D, E, F. And I know what you're asking is like this. What's the smartest thing to do here? So kind of whichever one you ask me, will just that'll just sort of flavor how I tell you what here is useful or valuable to me. Okay, so let's see. Um, what here is useful or valuable? Let's see. It's a partial success, so I'll give you something, even though it's not going to be. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be exactly what you need. I think you see a big you see not a big, you see a small cask of something over in the corner. It looks like it is labeled as some sort of like cleaning solution or something. The it looks like it might be the sort of thing where, I tell you what, it is going to really rough up Ugene's home, and it might also cause you some trouble on down the line, because I think it would probably be considered vandalism to like dump a bunch of cleaning solution into people's fresh water. But that might be an issue for a different day. So that would be an option. Let's see, what else here is there anything else useful or valuable? I don't know. I think you're yeah, I think with a partial success, that's your best bet for right now. It's not ideal, but it'll get you there. And then Team Lenath. Let's take a look at what Lenath is doing right now. If anyone from Team Lenath is here, then you can go ahead and put it in an order, and that will supersede whatever I decide here. But I think if I am making the call, I think Lenath is going to go down and make one more try at this. I think, let's see. Lenath is going to make 2 checks. One is going to be a Constitution check to head back down here and try to tough it out with a low breath, and the other one's going to be a Dexterity check to try and look around. Actually, you know what? No, it's going to be a Dexterity check to swim, a Wisdom check to look for a key. The chest is still locked. Yes. Yeah, so I'll make the Dexterity check real quick to yeah, Vintage Days is saying look for a key. Okay, we're good. So 2d6. This one is going to be a Dexterity check. This is to oh man, I keep putting in the wrong. This is not the program that I'm used to for making roll commands. Okay, so this first one's going to be a Dexterity check. So y'all have a +2 in this. This is to make your swim full success. Okay, so you got the hang of this now, of course. You jet back down underneath the water, Lenath, and you are looking around for a key. And that is virtually always a wisdom check. So I'm going to go ahead and make that here as well. Here we go. You get a +1 to this one. You're pretty astute. A 9, and that is a +10. Or not a +10, it's a +1, but that is a total of 10, which means on a 10 plus, it is a full success. You manage to locate a key. You can see it. It is tangled up inside that plant, that sort of minty green glowing plant that you saw Ugene was using as a bed, essentially. And you find the key. It's a very strange key. It's sort of curled up like a seashell, but you can see that it would fit into a little sort of iron shape on the front of this chest. So you grab the key, and again, it's a full success on both of these. So you are doing very, very well, and you're doing it quickly too. You grab the key and you push it into the front of this lock, and the chest clicks open. The shell slides in and the chest clicks open, and you can see there is indeed a sack of something heavy down there at the bottom. You surmise it is likely your winnings from the fight. This is what you came down here to get. So, Team Lenath. Actually, you know what? Let me just restart this really quick just to see if it pops up for you. Vintage Days or Michaela Money. I'm curious if that did anything to help your mixed play situation out. But so Lenaith now has it. I'm gonna say one more dexterity check should get you to the top of the. Sorry about that, Sander. I know you were already joined in just fine. But I'm gonna say one more check to get up to the top of the. Of the top of the cistern with your winnings. Ooh, it's a 5. Uh-oh. Plus 2, 6, 7. So as a partial success, I think as you get out of the water, you get stung probably a couple of times. And so I am going to call you Shaky. But we are here. Mixed play still not working? That's too bad. I'm not sure what's going on there. Yeah, if anyone has, well, I'll go over that at the end. So we do these streams for 2 hours, so because I need a break before we do Harry Potter tonight. We are rounding up here on the end of it. I think Lenaith, you get stung a couple of times and you can feel this zap on your body, but you manage to haul yourself up, looking a little bit like a seal on land because your legs both got stung. Storycat, it's going to be in about 1 hour. We are just finishing up our Chat Plays Dungeon World. We're finishing up our adventure for tonight. We have had some moderate success. It's been a little challenging, but there are some people that are much, much closer to leveling up now than they were before. I believe both our wizard and our barbarian are pretty close. So you emerge from the water, Lenaith, holding this bag and gasping for breath. You got stung a couple of times in the legs, and you have to kind of shake them off. It's a bit of a hobble through the town as you leave Ugene's home, the cistern here. You haven't managed to fish these things out, and so Ugene's going to have to crash with one of you and be pretty uncomfortable in the morning because he's not used to sleeping dry. He's used to sleeping underwater. But you manage to get your winnings. Each of you is going to get 5 gold. Each team is going to get 5 gold, and I'll probably do. I'm going to handle all purchases, I think, over on the Discord. In addition to any of the all the questions that I will be asking to fill out. What do we know about these characters and such? So go ahead and check out the Discord. The 3 of you and Ugene walk into the sunset across the many across the many bridges spanning the towers between the different spires of Racedis Towers, our magical metropolis. You've made your money from your goblin fight, but it does appear that the goblins do have it out for you a bit. As you walk, Ugene talks to you, saying, "Hey, I'm sorry about that goblin fight. You won, and pretty handily. So I think with some luck, I will be able to get you a better fight for next time. Hopefully something with a little bit more pizzazz to it. But yeah, I'll see you all for the fight tomorrow, and bring your A game." Right? Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for coming to my place. I'm hoping I'll be able to fish out the rest of those sometime soon. Well, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. I might need some help again with that in the future if I can't get rid of those things, but thank you for coming by, and hey, can I crash with one of you tonight? And that's where we're going to end it for today. Thank you so much for playing. If anyone is new to this or just rolling in, we are going to be doing Harry Potter in 1 hour, but for this, what is this? This is Chat Plays Dungeon World, and this is an RPG adventure. If you've ever wanted to play Dungeons & Dragons or something like it, this is your chance to try it out, perhaps for the first time. It's going to be a very beginner-friendly adventure. Let's see. Let's go back here. I had a lot of fun today. We've got our 3 teams, and they are doing well. They're earning experience. They are, and we've got some questions to answer there, which might put one or two of you over the edge and actually have you level up this at the end of this one. So all of the leveling up will happen in the Discord. You can go ahead and join the Discord by joining one of the teams, and that will give you the link there. Let's see. Sandra says, by the way, Halvir needs to prepare spells. When do I do that via Discord? Let's see. I will ask that like early in the week. I'll probably ask that like today at some point, and then that will be the ones that are prepared for next time. And I'll probably just do it kind of as a vote. We'll see how that works. But yeah, it'll definitely be in the Discord. It'll be in the Halvir Discord channel. So you can go ahead and find that. You can find the general Discord, which is for all things Sidecar Stories. That will be that link is down in the description below. I will be doing Harry Potter on both Mixer and Discord. It's live in both spots, so you can stay here. It's going to change over to, I would guess, I think I've got it set up to host other channels, so you'll get to listen to some thunderstorm noises in the meantime. But until then, if you are watching this on the YouTube premiere, that means that our next episode is starting right now over on Mixer. So get over there. The link will be down in the description. If you are watching this on Mixer, as y'all who are here live are doing, thank you very much for joining me. Thanks for playing the game today. I had a lot of fun. This is a great chance to see more of the world, and I would say next week we can expect another arena fight. We're going to be back, and Ugene is going to try and find you something a little bit more, something with a little bit more dignity than the goblin fight. Now, I wouldn't say it's your last goblin fight because you're still working your way up, but you're doing well, and yeah, we'll see what kind of fame and fortune you can bring for yourselves. So, I will see you next week for more Chat Plays Dungeon World, and I will see you in 1 hour for Harry Potter. We are reading the next few chapters, and thank you very much for listening. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and of course, thank you for playing. Bye-bye.